Hey kids, what's happening? Hey, you think you could give me a hand here? I gotta unload all this lumber. Yesterday took a trip into the big box store in town and bought everything I need to replace the doors on the shed out there. So I'll go out there and show you in a minute, but first I gotta get all this stuff off. Handy little ratchet straps. They're small, but they're mighty, and it comes in real handy for stuff like this. And I keep these right in the truck, so I always have them. Well, you just gonna stand there? Give me a hand here. Let's get this make this job go a little easier. You know, I might be retired, but I can still boss. Thanks for the help, guys. Appreciate it. I like to keep my binder straps in the door here. I got some insect repellent. I've got a rubber bungee strap. You know, things that you just might need when you're hauling stuff. And gloves that I keep under the seat too. You never can be prepared enough. All right, that's done. Now, I've got, this is what they call T111. It's got, looks almost like barn siding. There's sheets of plywood. And though each one of those will become, there's two of them, each one of them will become a door. I'll have to cut them down a little bit. I think I'll end up cutting a foot off of each side and trim some off the top. And then the rest of this, this is all treated underneath, treated lumber. That'll become the trim for the doors. I don't know what's wrong with the sensor on my garage door. Whenever the sun's shining, it won't shut unless I hold the button, depress the button until it's completely closed. If the sun's not shining, it works fine. You push the button and the door closes. But when the sun's out like this, that's not going to happen. It's Saturday, and that's in my world, that's chore day. Starts out in the morning with housework. Wife likes me to help her get the house straightened up, do the vacuuming, and clean the toilets, and all that dirty work. So we get that out of the way, and then we move outside. Now today, being that it's nice, I mean, it's sun shining, the trees are in blossom. I mean, look up there, you got a magnolia and a pear that's in full bloom. The flowers are coming out. She wants to take a walk, so we're gonna go to the campground and walk today. But I mean, look at this. We've got rot here, and that's just one of the cross beams. More rot here. We've got rot down at the bottom there, and on this side the hinge is pulled right out and there's nothing for it to even bolt to. It's so rotten, and so the doors are all slumping down, and you see there's more rot at the top. The rest of the building's in pretty sound shape, but I do have some rot along the base here. So I've got a skirt board. I'm going to dig that out and replace that with some treated lumber material. It's kind of a bigger project. It'll consume a good part of a day, and being that it's a decent day, she wanted to get out and walk, and I'm all for that. You know, you got to live life and you got to enjoy life as you can. Things are starting to shape up around here. I've got a lot of work to do in the herb garden here. Some of this stuff is perennial, so you'll see it's coming back up from every year. It comes back up. We've got some lavender here, and the daffodils have already come and gone. We've got some irises coming up back there, among other things. Some more irises here. Look at this pear, though. We planted this a couple years ago, and it's just looking beautiful. And this magnolia too. Now you'll see the frost got it just a little bit tipped on those tips, but it's still pretty. A nice lavender color. I was out early this morning. The garden, I haven't tilled it yet, but I'm going to. And by the way, that's where that big stump was that I burned out. Completely gone. So I filled it with dirt and seeded it. That job's done. But this is the garden over here. You can kind of make out the rectangle where we plant our vegetables and stuff. And you'll see that it's got a lot of grass in there. You know, and I tilled it last fall. So I would get rid of that. But over the winter, all this grass came back. So I thought, okay, well, you don't want to use chemical like Roundup on this because it's a vegetable garden, and that stuff has some nasty, it could cause cancer among other things. So I looked on the internet, and it said the way you could kill your weeds was to use vinegar. We went to the dollar store yesterday and bought a couple quarts of vinegar, put them in my pump sprayer, and I sprayed this whole thing with a vinegar solution this morning. So we're going to see what happens, but it already looks like the grass is starting to shrivel a little bit. So I think it's going to work. That's good. V was out on the tractor the other day mowing, and she mowed the lawn. She made it look, at least she did up here around the house, so it looks 100 times better than it did the other day. First mow, so we weren't really mowing a lot, but we mowed up here around the house anyway, and when she was done, it looked really sharp. She takes a lot of pride. She loves riding that tractor and mowing grass. So there's still a lot of work to do. We've got mulch to put down in the yard, and there's a lot of sticks and debris to clean up. But that comes with time. So today, I don't know, I got some things accomplished already, so I'm happy with that. And we're going to go for a walk, enjoy the weather, see what's out there. I'm sure there'll be other people out today, out and about. On the old scooter, you know, I changed the primary oil, and the drain plug was right underneath there, and I had a little bit of oil dripping, so I had to get back under there and tighten that thing up a couple more cranks. I didn't have it tight enough, but you know those plugs, those oil plugs, you just don't want to over tighten them. You crack the case or something. I just didn't have it tightened enough, so I gave it a couple more cranks. And hopefully we won't have any more drips on the primary. Yeah, they always tell you that Harleys leak oil, and they do. But let me tell you something. I bet you there isn't a motorcycle on the road that doesn't have oil underneath on the frame or on the belly of the engine. I think they all leak oil. We're off to take a walk. Enjoy some of this beautiful weather, get out of the house.
Hey, people. How you doing?
My beautiful, lovely wife wanted to, she likes taking the walk, and I like taking the walks too. It's good exercise for us. Gets our blood pumping, it increases our appetite for a good dinner, and it's just fun to, get out of the house a little bit and get some fresh air. So that's where we're heading right now. Gotta love this coming up here. It's called Country View, and look at this view. That's the country view right there. Country View Auto Recycling. Some view for being out in the country. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and it is really pretty out here. It's a lot of rural farmland, but right in the middle of the farmland, plop, there's this huge pile of scrap cars, and it's pretty extensive. It's a pretty big junkyard, but we always get a kick out of it because it's called Country View. So we've arrived at our destination. We're going to take how many miles you want to do today? We've been doing 3 miles, 3.5 miles.
Yeah, over 3.5, almost close to 4. I think we were like 3.7. So we were very close to 4, just a quarter mile more.
Well, that's a pretty good hike. I mean, that's about an hour and 20 minutes or something it takes us.
Well, we can do it in 20 minutes, a mile in 20 minutes. So
when we get back, we got our hydration drinks. I don't know if you ever tried this before. It's called Body Armor. This is orange mango, but I think they have a couple other flavors too.
Yeah, there's a strawberry, there's all kinds.
It's supposed to be a all natural, healthy coconut water drink, and it's very good. I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
But we save those for the end of our journey. It's our little treat when we get back. Well, you ready to do this, V?
I am. I hope it's not crowded because it's a nice day. So I hope nobody else is walking down there. People don't do the distancing thing. You got 2 sides of the road. So you think they would walk on one side, the other. No, right down the middle, coming towards you.
We like to do social distancing for sure because both of us are at high risk for this virus. And just as a note, an old friend of mine, his mother passed away last night from the COVID virus. So it's a real thing, people. It's a real thing. It's not fake news.
Boy, did I get a lecture from my doctor. I came in for my appointment without a mask, and he about went berserk. Get her a mask! Get her a mask! I got a whole lecture why you should wear a mask. Wear 2.
So here's a girl who is at high risk, and she goes into a hospital where the virus is more prevalent, and she doesn't wear a mask.
Well, the reason being, I feel like I'm hyperventilating. I can't breathe with that thing
If
on.
you get the COVID virus, you won't breathe.
And it fogs up my glasses, and then I find myself touching my face more because I'm taking off my glasses, trying to adjust the mask and put my glasses back on, and they say don't touch your face, and I'm doing it more. Okay. Let's take a hike, get some fresh air. We don't need to wear a mask for this. No.
Hey, that's all we got today, guys. We're going to wrap this up and head out on our walk. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and we will catch you next time.